want to give you all like a minute or two to join me, because I want to talk to y'all this morning about branding. For those of you who are just coming into the room, welcome, and thank you for joining. For those of you who are catching the replay, thank you for watching the replay, and comment replay in the comments for me, if you will. Just so you guys know, because my eyes are gonna move from screen to screen, I am recording for YouTube. We're live on Instagram, we're live on Facebook. So I'm kind of gonna go back and forth. So please don't mind if my eyes are not directly on you. And I'm also gonna kind of be referring to my notes to make sure I'm hitting all of the highlights and the important parts. But we're gonna go ahead and get started because I don't want to keep you all super long. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Jessica Fields. I'm the founder of the Jessica Fields Aesthetics Coaching. I wanted to talk to you all today about branding. We are going to talk about why it's important, and I'm going to share with you all some practical tips on how you can brand your beauty business effectively. Hello. Thank you so much for the compliment. Welcome and thank you for joining me. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. What is branding? So branding is so much more than just the visual side of your business. So it's so much more than just your logo, your colors, your fonts, and things like that. Branding is also the personality of your business, the tone of your business, your messaging, the experience that your customers are going to get once they are with you. Branding encompasses all of that. So it's how you communicate your values, and again, your personality, and even your expertise to your target audience. And effective branding helps you and your business stand out. It helps you connect with your ideal clients, and it helps you build a loyal customer following. When we build our community by having a proper brand that stays the same throughout our messaging, throughout our platforms, throughout our experiences, throughout our connections with our clients, that allows people to remember us. Oh, I remember the last time I spoke to that business I called. Think about it this way. When you go to Chick-fil-A, you remember how at the end of the interaction, they say, it was my pleasure. We remember that. And whether or not it was their pleasure or not, they said it and they're smiling when they say it. You go, this is why I love Chick-fil-A. Even if you don't love the chicken, you love Chick-fil-A because the customer service is always on point. That's a part of their brand. That's a part of their branding. And that's the kind of thing we want to create with our own businesses. So I'll kind of briefly talk to you about what is branding and why it's important. So I actually want to give you some tips on understanding your audience and how that plays a part into your branding. You have to know who your target audience is so you know how to tailor your message so that you can speak to your target audience. For example, if you are saying Generation X, or you're one of our younger generations, and your target audience are baby boomers, you cannot, in your messaging, talk a bunch of slang, talk a bunch of new age terms. They're not going to understand that. They're not going to feel like you're speaking to them. So if your target audience is baby boomers, you're going to need to speak proper English and use common terms that they can understand. So that's why we have to know who our target audience is. One of the keys to successful branding is understanding your ideal customers. For example, for my business, for the coaching side, they are women estheticians, usually aged 24 to 34. Does that mean I can't help someone under 24 or someone over 34? No, but that's my target audience. So my messaging, my graphics, the events I put on, the lessons I put on, they're geared towards that age group. So I know how to speak to them. I'm going to research what their pain points are. I'm going to figure out what their concerns are so I can address those specifically. So that's something important when you're understanding your audience. Understanding your audience also shapes your branding, in the instance, your branding strategy. Again, we've talked about it goes from your colors to your messaging. All of that should resonate with your target audience's preferences and their needs. This is how we know. So you are going to, for example, in my spa side, I'm doing a spa party. It's called a Luxe Spa Party, The Escape. I understand based on what my branding strategy is when I'm creating my marketing plan, how am I going to address my customer needs? The particular escape or the particular spa party I'm doing is called the Escape. It's meant to help women escape their daily duties. A lot of times as moms, we're always taking care of the kids. As wives, we're always taking care of our husbands. As corporate women, we're always taking care of the job. We get home super late at night, we're tired, our cups are empty. It's time to refill our cup. So that's who my target audience is. So that's why I called it the Escape. So the ads that I'm putting on, I'm gearing it towards moms. I'm gearing it towards women who work a lot but need to unwind. And I've gave myself plenty of time so the women who do work a lot, they know in advance. Specifically, I started marketing 90 days out. So they know, okay, in 90 days, I'm going to take a whole Sunday off where I'm not taking care of my kids. I'm not taking care of my husband. I'm not taking care of my job. I'm taking care of me. I'm refilling my cup. So that's how I have to understand my audience, and that's what you need to do too in your own beauty business. Understand what their needs are, understand who they are, what their interests are, what their pain points are. So when you're creating products, when you're creating events, you're able to tailor it to them. Now, as I'm going through any of this, if you guys have questions, drop them in the comments and I will respond to them at the end of the live. Again, I'm not going to keep y'all super long. I really just wanted to give y'all some quick high-level points on branding. I do have an event, a MasterClass coming up where we're going to craft your signature brand, and it's the Estheticians Edition. So you guys can create more questions and we're going to address some of those personalized in that upcoming MasterClass, and it is absolutely free. I will tell y'all more about it at the end, but I just want to let you know if you have questions, be sure to drop them in the comments. So the next thing I'm going to talk to you all about is your branding elements. Now, we talked about your logo, coloring and fonts, your messaging, your tagline. All of that is a part of your brand, but we also want to talk about your branding efforts. For example, let me see. In my own business, I have chosen my colors. My colors are pink and blue. I've chosen my fonts in Montserrat, I believe. It's a common font, but no matter where you see my business, the font is the same. The colors are the same. My strategy is the same. My tagline is the same. The only thing that changes is actually my specific marketing plan, my marketing message for what I'm selling, for what event, what product, and what time of year I'm selling. My target audience does not change. None of my branding itself changes. The only thing that's changing, again, is my marketing effort. And the only reason I'm changing it is because I'm changing and adjusting what works and what doesn't work. For example, the spa party that's coming up in October, the Escape, that's the second one I'm doing this year. I took my first one, which was the Brunch and Relax, and all the ladies that were there, we have them on camera. We sat down and we said, hey, what did you enjoy about this party? What would you like to see more of? What did you not like? What changes or things would you want to see adjusted? And I took their feedback and I adjusted it for the next spa party. Like, the biggest thing everybody said was, oh, it wasn't long enough, because the first spa party was only 2 hours. And the second one is from 10 to 4:30, so it's almost all day. That's the kind of adjustments and changing we're making. So when we're thinking about our brand, we're not trying to keep changing our brand every 60 days, every 90 days. Now, if you start a business and you create a brand and you realize it's not working, you're not making the money, it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate with your values, your personality, then yes, you might need to sit down and readjust and think about it. But what you change it to, that's again what you need to stick with. So when you're creating your brand, you're finding something that works for your brand, for you personally, your personality, your values. And those are very important to identify before you really get started in your business. And if you have gotten started, sit down and think about it, because those features help you identify which clients you should keep, which clients you shouldn't keep. For example, if you are talking luxury, you want to portray a brand that's all about luxury, and you run your ads on Groupon occasionally. And there's nothing wrong with that, because sometimes that's a great way to expose your business. But a lot of times Groupon clients are looking for the best deal, the cheapest deal. So they come in with the mindset, okay, what discount do you have next? What discount do you have next? But if you're thinking luxury, people who are willing to pay luxury prices are not looking for a discount. So that's why I say you have to keep those things in mind when you're thinking about your brand, you're thinking about your business. What values do you have that you want to put into your business? Whatever those are, you stick with them. And you only adjust your marketing, because you're measuring your marketing efforts as you go on. You're taking out the things that don't work. The things that do work, you rinse and repeat. So let's keep going. Another branding element I want to talk about is your overall vibe. When people come into my business, they walk into the spa, the first thing people would say, oh, it's so calming, it's so relaxing. At my last location, everything was all white. The walls were white, the cabinetry was white, my sheets were white. Now the only color was the brown, and that is one of my brand colors for the spa. It's the blanket. They would come in and instantly feel calmed, instantly feel relaxed. I always had aromatherapy going. I would change the scents up occasionally. I would have great music playing. Now, let me actually give you personal experience. Back in aesthetic school, they always did spa music. I'm talking the cheesy spa music. And when I graduated and I opened my spa, I came out and I did the same thing. That didn't fit my personality. It wasn't me. And I realized people would come in and say, oh, can we change the station? Can we do this? And so one day I was like, well, you know what? Let me put on some music that I like, that's not provocative, that's not nasty, that's not filled with curse words or things like that. And matter of fact, I can't think of the name right now, but I'll drop one of the artists or a couple of the artists in the comments later so you guys can see it. And I had Pandora at the time. So I would craft a station around this particular artist, and then the music would come in. And I had people start to come in, depending on the service, they would sing along, or they would say, oh, I love this song. Who's this artist? This is great. I need to create a station. It began to speak to my own personality, and my clients resonated with it. They were like, oh, I love this. It made them calmer. It made them happier. That's something that's now a part of my brand. When you come to my business, yes, I want you to relax. Yes, I want to help you reach your skin goals. Yes, I want you to have a great time. But I want the overall vibe to fit me, to fit my personality, to fit my values, to fit what I'm about. And those clients come to me. Now, there absolutely is probably someone who comes in and they're like, oh, I'm not a fan of that music. But it's not super loud, so it's never offensive to the point where they're like, I just can't work with this. I don't want to listen to this. And say there is someone that comes in and that's how they feel, they just may not book with me. But that also means they're probably not my ideal client. Because my ideal client, I have a whole personality for them. What type of money they make, what their education level is, their age, their gender, what kind of music they listen to, the entire interest. I have an ideal customer so I can tailor my messages to them. Even when I'm posting things on social media, the music that I select is more in line with the kind of music that I play in my spa. So people who typically like my posts, like my music, they like my overall vibe. So that's something else y'all want to consider when you're defining and creating the brand for your business. Now I want to talk to you guys about real quickly about your unique selling points or position. So that's your USP. What type of music do you play? I was trying to think of one of the stations. If you give me 1 second, I actually can answer that question. Because for whatever reason, I cannot remember the name. So I'm going to open up Pandora on a different device and tell y'all the name. Let's see. Alina Baraz. Alina Baraz is the one who initially I created the station with. Now, you know how Pandora works. I said initially when I started, I was working with Pandora. Pandora would take whatever artist you did and try to find music that's similar to it. Now, if something came on that was too provocative, too upbeat when I'm trying to do a relaxing facial, I would just dislike it. But Alina Baraz was the inspiration I went with when I started it. Now it plays a little bit of Nio in there. It plays a little bit of her in there. It's just a variety of music, but that's generally the type of music that I play in the spa. So back to your unique selling points or propositions. Share your expertise. Share how long you've been in business. For example, personally, I've been in the beauty industry for 19 years. I started making luxury skincare products back in 2004. I have been a licensed esthetician for 4 years. I received my license January of 2019. My coaching in the aesthetics business that we're on right now, I have a hands-on approach and it's tailored to each client. So when I do one-on-one, I sit down and I talk with my clients. What is it that you're hoping to achieve from this coaching session? What do you need my help with specifically? And then I go and I tailor how I'm going to help them. Even in the spa, when clients come in, I always ask in their consent forms when they first sign in, their name, their health, any medication they're on. I say, what do you hope to achieve from your service today? That way I can address that specific concern. Sometimes it's, I just want to relax. Sometimes it's, I have all of these blackheads down here, help me get rid of them. Or I have all this hyperpigmentation in my cheeks, help me get rid of that. Or I've had acne for 10 years, I really would like to get rid of that. So then I can be really honest with the client up front. Hey, you've had acne for 10 years. We're not gonna fix this overnight, but we can fix it. This is what I need you to do. You're gonna have to show up consistently for your appointments. You're gonna have to do your skincare routine consistently. And when people know upfront what you expect from them or how you can help them, they then have the option to make the decision whether or not they're gonna stick with it and be able to do it. So make sure you're able to identify what's unique about you, what's unique about your business. Another way to do that is to do a competitive analysis. Sit down and find out, what are your strengths and weaknesses in your business? Where are you strong? Where are you weak at? So the areas that you're weak at, you can go and get help. Another form of the competitive analysis is to sit down and do research. What other spas or estheticians are in your area? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? And you find their weaknesses, those are areas that you can get stronger in. That's a unique selling position. That's how you can tell other people, this is how I'm different from the businesses in the area. You know, I can do this, and it's something that you know the other businesses don't do. So that's how you build your brand, or how you create your brand and then you build it. You want to create an experience, have a personalized approach, and then have results that you can deliver repeatedly. If you make results one time, don't suddenly say, oh, I'm an expert at this. I can do this each and every time. You don't know that. You've only done it once. Find a way, a skill, a technique, whatever it is, find it that you can duplicate over and over. And that's what you want to build your brand around. So any questions before I move on to the next subject, or the next point? Okay, I'm checking Instagram and Facebook. Okay, so no questions for now. If y'all have any more, just drop them in the comments. I want to give you 3 quick tips for building an effective brand, and then we're going to wrap this up because I told y'all I didn't want to keep you super long. Branding your visual identity. You want to create a visual identity that reflects your business personality, which reflects your personality, your values. That's through your colors, through your logos, and your design elements. All of that plays a part in your visual identity, which is important to effective branding. The second thing, consistency. Be consistent in how you present your business across all platforms. I'm talking Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, or now X, Threads. Doesn't matter what platform you're on, you want to be consistent. So if you're always talking luxury on Instagram, you better get on every other platform talking luxury, because you can't be Nordstrom's, Saks Fifth Avenue on one platform and then be Walmart on another. Now, there's nothing wrong with being the Walmart, because Walmart makes a lot of money every single day. It's the customer base, the price line that makes you different. So identify what that is, what you want your brand to be known for, and then you stick with that. The third point or tip I want to give you for effective branding is to tell your story. Everybody loves a good story. And in social media especially, you have to have a story that you're going to share. This allows your audience to connect with you on a personal level. Authenticity is a powerful branding tool. You cannot create a story that you pulled out your butt and then you get on social media, you get to marketing with that. Because if you do, I guarantee you're going to forget a detail somewhere. And somebody is going to remember that one detail that you forgot and then ask you a question on it. And then you can't tell it exactly the same. And now you're a liar. I can't trust a liar. You can't trust a liar. So you're not going to want to do business with them. So whatever story it is that you're telling about your business, let it be really honest. I'm trying to think what story I can share with y'all about my business. I'm trying to think of something that I publicly shared before. Why I started my skincare company. There we go. Started in 2004. Woo, this is me telling my age. I had just graduated high school, y'all. I live in Houston, Texas. Y'all know that. We're based here in Houston. I went to Howard University for 2 years. I packed all my stuff, y'all. I got on a plane and I went to DC. I'm from the South. It's hot down here. We don't snow. Occasionally we get some snow. And when I say snow, I'm talking a little dusting on the top of your cars and your windshields that you could wipe off. I went to Washington, D.C. and I went to school up there, and honey, it snows. By Halloween, you putting on coats. Won't do that down here. And I'm talking thick, thick coats. North Face type coaster. Well, at least back then that was the brand that was popular. So I went up there, and my first winter, I thought I was going to die. I thought they were going to find me face down in a bunch of snow. I have really dry skin. And me moving from this hot climate to this super cold climate, it really wreaked havoc on my skin. So I had to find new products that would work, because I would put on lotion in the morning before getting dressed to go to class, and within an hour I'm scratching, or my skin is white, or it's super dry, it's cracking, it's bleeding, because the products that I was able to find on the stores at the time were not moisturizing enough. So I thought, let me figure out what I can put on my skin so when I get dressed in the morning, I'm good throughout the day. Hence, my whipped body butter was created. Now, when I started making it, it wasn't for everybody else. It was to fix my own skin. And then it led to, I had a single room. I didn't have a roommate my freshman year in college. And I actually stayed in a co-ed upperclassman dorm. How that managed to work out, y'all, I couldn't tell you. But nonetheless, there was a guy across the hallway and a girl across the hallway. No, not across the hallway. The guy was a floor above me. But the girl across the hallway was like, "Ooh, what's that?" And she was talking to the guy above. So long story short, they were like, "Let me have some of that." So I let them try it. They gave me great feedback. It led to me, okay, I can sell this here and there. I can sell this there. Another thing, they were like, "Oh, girl, you can cook. You should sell plates." So I sold plates. I love to cook even to this day, but I realized I didn't want to be a chef. I didn't want to open a restaurant. I really wanted to work in skincare. So my skincare business was born back in 2004. Over the years, I would go to events, bazaars, and things like that where I would sell my products, and people would say, and I do mean raise up their pants leg, their sleeve, their shirt, and say, "Look at this rash. What can I put on it? Ooh, you see this spot? How can I get rid of it?" So I was like, oh, I have to go to school so I can be able to diagnose people's problems. I have to go to aesthetic school and learn more. So in 2018, I was separated from my husband, and just a minute, baby. I was separating from my husband, and we were a 2-income household. So I'm now a 1-income household, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to make things work, because at the time I had a 4-year-old son. I was working full time. I was going to school full time, but I realized this is going to make my business better. This is going to help me do more for my household. So I buckled up. I was working a 40-hour job, and I was going to school 30 to 40 hours. All of this at the same time. And I told you I had a 4-year-old. Before, I was at home. Mama was at home all the time. So baby gave me a little bit of the blues in that time period. But I realized this is something to better my business. This is how I'm going to grow. It's how I'm going to be able to help my clients better, by being able to help them with their specific concerns. That's my story. I don't think I've actually ever told it as much in depth as I just did, but I've definitely told bits and pieces. That's still my story. That's always going to be my story. I can't make it up. I can't add to it. I can't take away from it. So I know by telling that, there's some woman somewhere, and I've absolutely met them later on in life. They were like, "Oh my God, I had to go through a divorce too, and I really want to do XYZ. Maybe not going to aesthetic school, maybe not building a skincare business, but I want to do this." And I always tell them, you can do it. Because honey, if I could work 40 hours a week at a day job, get off of work, race across town to go to aesthetic school from 4 or 5 to 10 o'clock at night, Monday through Thursday, you can do it too. And have a kid at home, not just an older kid, a young kid. I actually had to hire a nanny to come in. Excuse me, y'all. She would pick my baby up from daycare, bring him home, feed him dinner, do homework with him, and put him down for bed. I would race from class to come home. Sometimes I would catch him. Most times I wouldn't. Kiss him on the cheek after he's already been asleep, to wake up in the morning to do it all over again. So if I can do it, and I struggle, baby, I know y'all can do it too. So that's a story that people are able to resonate with. So whatever your story is, decide what it is and tell it. That's my final tip for effective branding. Now, let's wrap this up. I told y'all that I have a masterclass coming up. Let me confirm the date. It is going to be August 30th at 12 o'clock noon, and it's called Crafting Your Signature Brand Esthetician Edition. And I want you to bring your notepads, bring your pens, because we're actually going to get into the nitty-gritty of creating your brand. I'm going to ask y'all very specific questions to help you identify your brand. I'm going to share with you, because I want y'all to talk back with me, what you're expecting to do. Are you going to be a lash artist? Are you going to do waxing? Are you going to do facials? And I want to be able to give you all personalized tips, tricks, and strategies to create your brand. Again, that is going to be on Wednesday, August 30th at 12 noon. And it's absolutely free. You just have to sign up. Click the link in my bio. For YouTube, you're going to click the link in the description box and you're going to sign up for the masterclass. After you sign up, you'll get the Zoom details to log in. I believe we are capped at 100 registrars, so don't wait. Once you register, make sure you save the details. Put it on your calendars so you have your own reminders. The day of, 5 to 10 minutes before, log on. So make sure that you get your space, because once it hits the max amount of people, nobody else will be able to join it. I don't want y'all to miss out. So on Wednesday, August 30th at 12 noon, join me for my masterclass, Crafting Your Signature Brand Esthetician Edition. And what else is going on that I want to share with y'all? We do have another Luxe Spa Party coming up. It's called The Escape. It is for ladies only. Gentlemen, we have something coming up for y'all soon. But this one is for the ladies. It's October 22nd from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Seats are limited. This event will sell out before the event. So if you guys are interested, go to luxspaparty.com and grab your ticket today. At the spa party, you're going to get there, change into our spa robes, our slippers. We want you to completely relax, unwind, forget about everything else you have to do at home, whether that's, washing the dogs, grocery shopping, meal planning. We're not thinking about any of that. We're going to come here and we're going to refill our cups. First thing we're going to do, slip into our spa robes and slippers. We're going to have a tea expert, Robin. She is from a locally owned tea company here in Houston. Her personal story is she was diagnosed with an illness and she healed herself by using herbal blends. So she's going to tell us great teas, or the best teas to drink hot, the best teas to drink cold, and specific tea blends that can address concerns that women have to deal with, relieving cramps, how to give you more energy, things like that. She's going to come in and break it down. And as she's breaking it down, we're going to get to taste the different tea blends. After our tea tasting, we're going to move into spa services. So every ticket holder will get to enjoy a luxury spa service. Then we're going to have lunch. After lunch, we're going to move into a guided meditation and stretch class. After that, we're going to go back to spa services. And throughout the day, you guys can enjoy. I have great food planned. I'll have champagne. Of course, we'll have water and other light beverages, but I want you guys to completely come and relax. I have thought of everything. The experience is going to be absolutely amazing. Each guest is going to get to take home a specially curated gift bag full of beauty products. So after the spa party, during the week, when life is kicking your butt, you can go pull a goodie out and refresh and rejuvenate yourself. Find out more about that at luxspaparty.com. Grab your tickets. Again, it's an intimate event. I'm only having 10 guests, so if you're interested in that, go grab your ticket today because it will sell out before October. So those are my two things I wanted to tell y'all about: the Luxe Spa Party, The Escape in October, and the masterclass on August 30th at 12 noon. So let me check one more time for questions and make sure I hit all the points on my notes. Okay, so I've gotten all my notes. Let me check for questions real quick. Okay, no questions. For those of you who are watching the replay, if you have questions, just drop them in the comments and I will come back and I will answer them. I just want to thank you all for joining me today. Remember, your brand is your story. Make it unique. Make it yours. I want y'all to join me next Wednesday. Wednesdays are going to be the days that I come live on this page to give y'all new information. But join me next Wednesday. Just turn on your notifications so you'll know when I'm going live, because I'll be sure to tell y'all in advance. And I will see y'all then. Y'all have an amazing, amazing Thursday.